Good afternoon and welcome back to your afternoon 5-State Farm Report. Daniel Drotzman, your host here for 570 WNAX. Thanks for tuning in today. Today on your program, visiting here with Lindsay Waechter-Mead. She is Nebraska Extension Livestock Educator. And Lindsay, thank you for joining us here today on WNAX. How are you?
Yeah. I'm doing well, thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. We're excited to get you on here today. So I guess just depending on your breeding season, I know many producers may have already or they're planning here in the next couple weeks or so to pull bulls here as we hit mid-July. So that's always just an exciting time as we're preparing for the new calf crop. But I guess anything we should keep in mind right after we, pull those bulls.
Well, there's a couple things that I always like to remind producers about when we're thinking about early pregnancy detection. And so as you pull the bulls, there's a couple opportunities to find out who is bred and when they're going to calve for you for next year. And you can really take that information and use it a couple different ways. And so the first way, obviously, is to be able to market opens. And so if you pull your bulls after like a 60-day breeding cycle and you give them about 30 days, give those cows to kind of sit, that is a prime time to go in an ultrasound. And so you can pick up an ultrasound pregnancy detection about day 30, and you'll definitely be able to see that heartbeat on there. And then that window is like that early 30 to about 90 days is great to get in for ultrasound and see, who's bred and who's open first. But then also you can kind of take that a little bit farther. And if you have, a skilled veterinarian that's doing your ultrasound diagnosis, you can find out if you're having a bull calf or a heifer calf. And that really will help you if you're going to be marketing cattle, especially when we're talking about what the market is now and if we've got some, stretched thin for our forage resources and things like that. You can market a cow that's AI bred or bull bred to, having a heifer calf, and she's going to be worth a lot more than just an unknown. So that's a really good opportunity to take advantage of now.
For sure. And I guess also just the ones that, aren't bred, it's great to find that out too, so then you don't have to necessarily feed them. And, that cull cow market is great right now.
Absolutely. And if we're talking specifically about heifers, if you get a heifer that's open, you can put her back into the fed market. And so you could either feed her if you've got the resources or sell her, to put her back into that, and she's going to be worth a lot of money for you. So that's a great opportunity to be able to get that extra income on something that maybe you were hoping to get her bred, but then you can, you have that ability to bring in some more income.
For sure. And I guess, do you get any big questions revolving around this topic? I know the traditional way to preg check is always just going and arm them and stuff, and ultrasounding is a little bit of not necessarily new, but maybe it's not used as much. But I guess, do you get any big questions around this topic?
Well, the one thing is it's truly going to depend on the veterinarian's skill and comfort level and what they have. So, yes, ultrasound is becoming so common now, a lot more than even when I was in practice. We didn't have as many people that used it. But you really, it's good to see what you can see, if that makes sense. And so an ultrasound just gives you that extra validation that, yes, I can see that there's a pregnancy there. You can also pick up things, some pathology. And so maybe there was a fetus, but you don't find a heartbeat, or even uterine infections or differences with the ovaries. And so those are questions that I'll usually get is, what else can you get on diagnosis if you're using that? So obviously, palpating with your arm, that's standard. We've been doing that for centuries, and those, veterinarians that have that skill are very, very good, so we know that we can get that too, and so you can feel confident there, but it just kind of takes a little extra step when you can see it on ultrasound.
For sure. And I guess if I'm right, you are in let's see, southern Nebraska a little bit?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
I know we've been hearing a lot about just conditions across Nebraska, and that Nebraska is just in a really bad drought right now. So just wondering, what you're kind of hearing from your producers on, just grazing at the moment, and kind of how conditions in the summer at least is going.
Yeah, so Nebraska is definitely in different sections when we're talking about how we're doing with drought. So the whole state as a whole definitely was stretched out for the last year, and then we've gotten some rains, but that's definitely been centered more to the eastern side. Even down here in southern Nebraska, we've gotten some areas that get rain, but it's been very pockety and spotty. And so some grazing, honestly, if you talked to me in March or April of this year, I was going to tell you that we would have been weaned by now, just early weaning and getting those cows out because we just didn't have the ability. And so, I'm in south central Nebraska. I'm just about 30 miles north of the Kansas border, and so our grass looks a little better, but we're still definitely stretched. And so doing things like rotational grazing and being extra good stewards of that is important. However, my friends that are out in the Panhandle in western Nebraska are definitely, struggling. So we've gone through historic fires and with the drought situation, and there's some pretty hard stories that are coming out of there, to be honest. And so a lot of sellouts, just not a lot of forages, talking about different opportunities to graze, different things available. Could we plant a cover crop? Is there stored forages that we could bring in, maybe even talking about using distillers or something for dry lot situations. And so, I'm sure it's that way in South Dakota too, if it's in different areas, but we're different. There's definitely sections that are going to be better than others, but it is a hard time.
Yeah, for sure. And I guess that's kind of what I keep hearing is just that it's pretty spotty across Nebraska. And I mean, we have some cattle in like west central Nebraska. I mean, when we took them out there at the beginning of the summer, it was kind of like, oh boy, like, I don't know, wonder how long they're going to be here. But, now that they've actually gotten some rain and it actually looks pretty good. Like there is a lot of grass out there. So it's just kind of interesting to see how spotty it is across the state. But
I think that if I pull up the drought monitor for Nebraska, I was looking at South Dakota too, but we've definitely got some that are still in exceptional. So you get out into the Panhandle, down into that Colorado corner, it's pretty bad. So, and then they had fires in that area too, so it was not. It's been hard.
Gotcha. Not as good. So, all right. Well, I guess we'll just keep praying for rain. So, with that, I know you are also the BQA director for Nebraska. So, I guess I know that's a very popular thing here among producers. And I guess anything new on the beef quality assurance side, or if we need to get certified, I guess where could we do that?
Yeah, so we're always going to recommend that having that certification just really gives you that extra step and validates that the consumers can continue to believe in us and that we're doing the right thing at all times, that we're continuously raising that high-quality beef product, and it's safe. And so you can get certified at any time from the comfort of your home if you'd like at the bqa.org website. So specifically, each state gets to have, I know South Dakota has a director too, and I'm the one for Nebraska, but we all work together. And so as in Nebraska, we do have a bqa.unl.edu website where I do in-person trainings. So I'm across the state at all different times of the year, and so you can find those different locations on our website there. But it's always, it's just always a good thing to kind of see is what's coming new because we're always kind of adjusting and updating our education based on, industry statewide or nationwide audits. And so we're taking that information, that science and research based and bringing it down to the producers. And so the newest thing would be really talking about the importance of safety, human safety for sure. And we always stress the low stress handling for the cattle. And then another big thing, if you've heard some of it that come through, is the foreign objects that have been found in the beef. And so we're really making awareness of that. And so things like buckshot, birdshot, those types of things. And so how you can do the right thing on handling those cattle so we can avoid getting those types of materials into our beef.
Absolutely. Good thing to keep in mind. So with that, I guess anything I missed or anything to wrap up on or leave our listeners with?
No, I don't think so. I just wish everybody, hopefully we get the rains where we need it, and we're going to have a good fall run as we get these cows back through and really take advantage of the market that we're at now and just enjoy it.
All right. And again, that is Lindsay Waechter-Mead. She is Nebraska Extension Beef Educator, joining us here today on your afternoon 5-State Farm Report. So we will take a quick break here and be back with the continuation of your program. So stay tuned.